Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 69 based on novel. So let's start. Close combat requires more than just strength. The Lord of Huangfeng City suddenly took out two short spears from his back. His towering body, which was 10 trillion kilometers tall, merged into the Huangfeng and instantly rushed towards Luofeng. The wind whistled, and the figure of the Lord of Desolate Wind City appeared on all sides of Luofeng in an instant, and the phantom of the short spear stabbed again and again. Luofeng stood in place, watching this scene coldly. Bang, bang, bang. When the short spears pierced Luofeng's body, black liquid immediately appeared and entangled the short hair again, but the Lord of Huangfeng City was also extremely powerful, and the black liquid could not be restrained, and not a drop of blood was shed. The Lord of Huangfeng City was quite astonished. What kind of physical training method did he use? A blood shadow knife suddenly appeared in Luofeng's hand. The blood shadow knife was now much more powerful and terrifying. He already has the potential to grow into a weapon of the ultimate realm of the God King, heavy and extremely sharp. At this moment, Luofeng suddenly slashed out with a knife. The Lord of Desolate Wind City, a pair of short wool hangers, resisted this blow. Under the collision of the huge weapons of both sides, the aftermath spread in all directions, sweeping across hundreds of millions of kilometers. They are both huge in size, and every move is a devastating force. An ordinary large city would be crushed into dust by them with just one kick. Such power also made the Chaos Peaks who were watching from afar tremble with fear. The gap between Chaos Realm Transcendent and Chaos Realm Peak was too big. These Chaos Realm Peaks thought that if they tried their best, they could also build a large city, but their little power was nothing compared to the two towering beings before them. Luofeng and the Lord of Huangfeng City both stopped. They all knew that they could not do anything to the other side. Luohe, your strength is no less than mine. The voice of the Lord of Wild Wind City was like thunder. But you should understand that our biggest competitor in the fight for the Blood Spirit Gold Pearl is the Great Sage Biyun. Luofeng also understood this. The Great Sage Biyun and the Lord of Desolate Wind City were both considered to be at the top of the Chaos Realm Transcendence. But when it came to fighting for the Blood Spirit Gold Pearl, the Great Sage Biyun was indeed better at it. Even now, Luofeng could not sense the aura of Great Sage Biyun. Luohe, do you think you can block the Blood Spirit Star like this? Suddenly a cold voice sounded. A grey figure ignored Luofeng's black liquid wrapping and appeared out of thin air inside the Blood Spirit Star. Flames rose on the Blood Spirit Star. A grey figure stood in the flames, observing the surroundings leisurely. Luohe, your strength is not enough to seal the Blood Spirit Star. The cold voice of Great Sage Biyun sounded, and the black liquid that originally covered the Blood Spirit Star with Luofeng shattered in an instant. Luofeng felt that the sky and earth where the black liquid was located was completely cracked, which naturally caused the black liquid to crack as well. The Black Abyss transformation technique alone cannot stop her. After the initial confrontation between Luofeng and the Great Sage Biyun, he felt the terrifying power of the other party. That terrifying sharpness even amazed Luofeng. The body of the Great Sage Biyun is very ordinary, far inferior to that of Luofeng, the Lord of the Wild Wind City. But her destructive power, which can be said to cut through the heaven and earth, is even better than that of the Lord of the Wild Wind City and Luofeng. The Great Sage Biyun is indeed powerful. The grey shadow smiled as he stood on the surface of the Blood Spirit Star. Luofeng, Great Sage Biyun, and the Lord of Huangfeng City were also very concerned about this grey shadow, Great Sage Yangsu. In terms of direct combat power, Great Sage Yangsu was indeed inferior to the other three. However, Great Sage Yangsu, who cultivated the Great Tao of the Origin of Space, was naturally very good at fighting for the Blood Spirit Golden Pearl, and he also cultivated the art of doppelganger. The 7 first-class marquises of the Dichu lineage actually attracted so many powerful people for a heavenly mission. The Lord of Yuan Xiu Palace in the distance watched this scene. I will stay away and grab as many as I can. Among the Chaos Realm Transcendents present, Palace Master Yuan Xiu is the best at trapping and imprisoning enemies. Luo Feng and the Lord of Huangfeng City both had horrible bodies and could not be dragged in at all. On the contrary, the weaker Great Sage Biyun and Great Sage Yensu, once locked, they are easily taken into the Dark Palace. Of course, Great Sage Biyun has been hiding herself, making it difficult to find her trace. And even if she is imprisoned, with her terrifying destructive power, she can still fight her way out of the Dark Palace prison. As for Great Sage Yensu, he also has the art of clones. If one of his clones is imprisoned, he can quickly destroy it and cultivate it again. It will be troublesome to fall out with him. I'll just do my best. Mansion Master Yuanxiu only wanted to take advantage of the situation and was not willing to risk his life. Luo Feng looked at the blood spirit star in front of him and also felt a headache. There are two beings at the same level, the Lord of Huangfeng City and the Great Sage Biyun. The Great Sage Yensu, who is slightly weaker in strength and is good at space, and the Lord of Yuanxiu Mansion, who hides far away. Thus, the blood spirit star was formed by the natural creation of heaven and earth. The core is solid, the middle area is liquid, and the outer layer is the blood-colored flame. In addition, the ancient gods of the Yangfeng ancient country had already arranged a formation in the core layer of the blood spirit star, allowing the blood spirit star to better absorb the power of heaven and earth and create more blood spirit gold pearls. In fact, all the precious places on the origin continent that give birth to the rare treasures of heaven and earth have owners. They would set up formations to protect the treasure land, and even nurture the treasure land. That is, these precious lands on the border of the two ancient countries, the two ancient countries tacitly allow the strong men on both sides to fight for them, whoever has the strength will get it. But there is one thing, it is forbidden to destroy the precious lands. A precious land that can continuously produce rare treasures. Fight for treasures based on your own abilities. But if you intentionally destroy the treasure land, it would be a taboo. The two ancient countries will punish you severely. For example, an ordinary treasure land might produce treasures worth thousands of merits every century, but what about treasures worth tens of millions of merits accumulated over tens of thousands of centuries? The value of a treasure land can be imagined. Of course, these treasure lands are formations set up by the God King, so it is not easy to destroy them. Let's grab as much as we can. Luo Feng immediately thought of it, and a mighty silver river spread out. Galaxy Transformation Method. Endless silver rivers, gathering and dispersing at random, swept around the blood spirit star in a mighty manner. As long as the blood spirit golden pearl actively erupts into the silver river and is bound by the silver river, other strong men will not be able to snatch it away. The Lord of Desolate Wind City's expression changed slightly upon seeing this, and he tried his best to suppress it with his Desolate Wind domain. Billions of units of the Galaxy Transformation Method are so powerful that when they collide, they are obviously stronger than the Desolate Wind realm. This was Luo Feng's last resort, using a large-scale field move like the Galaxy Transformation Method to snatch the Blood Spirit Golden Pearl. The Galaxy Transformation Method was unpredictable, lightning-fast, and most suitable for long-distance use. This Luo he has this trick? The Lord of Huangfeng City realized that something was wrong. His Desolate Wind domain penetrates everywhere and is indeed suitable for snatching treasures. In terms of flexibility, change, and penetration, the Galaxy Transformation Method is slightly inferior to the Wild Wind domain. However, the Galaxy is more powerful, and the area where it is located completely suppresses the Wild Wind domain. Great Sage Luo, his domain-related moves are quite extraordinary. The grey shadow standing on the surface of the Blood Spirit Star laughed. As soon as the words fell, the vast Milky Way seemed to be frozen, and its movement became much slower. Luo Feng's face changed slightly. He felt that the space seemed to be solidified, and the Galaxy Transformation Method that bound him heavily. Although he could also move by force with his might, his speed was only 1 or 2%. Don't be surprised. Great Sage Yangsu said with a smile, it's because your domain-type moves are too powerful. I can only suppress them a few times. Okay. Luo Feng looked at him. At this moment, the Blood Spirit Star, which was in the explosive period, spewed out liquid flames, and 10 Blood Spirit golden beads erupted in an instant. There was a sharp edge that cut off the heaven and earth, and instantly cut off two small pieces of the world. These two small pieces of the world carried a total of 3 blood spirit golden beads, which were swept away out of thin air. Luo Feng's galaxy domain spread over a large area and was very close to these blood spirit golden beads, so he immediately wanted to fight for them. But the space seemed to be frozen, and the degree of confinement immediately soared. Luo Feng's galaxy transformation technique moved much slower. Damn it! Luo Feng was angry. Whoosh whoosh. The Lord of Huangfeng City, Great Sage Yensu, and Luo Feng all took action quickly. The wind of the Lord of Wild Wind City was howling, but it also swept up 2 blood spirit golden beads. Great Sage Yangsu teleported and snatched 2 blood spirit golden beads. Although Luo Feng's galaxy transformation technique occupied the geographical advantage and completely covered the blood spirit star, it moved slowly and only had time to roll up 2 blood spirit golden beads. Even the Lord of Yuan Xiao Palace, who was hiding in the distance, took the opportunity to collect 1 blood spirit golden bead with the Dark Palace prison. Yangsu. Luo Feng looked at the great sage Yangsu. If Yangsu had not imprisoned himself in space with the advantage of the galaxy transformation technique, he would have been able to double the amount of blood spirit golden pearls he had obtained. The great sage Yangsu smiled. Great sage Yangsu. Luo Feng immediately transmitted his voice, 5 Chaos Realm Transcendents are fighting for it, and you are only targeting me. Just stop hindering me. When this wave of outbreaks is over, I will give you 3 Blood Spirit Gold Pearls. Ha ha. To fight for the Blood Spirit Golden Pearl, it all depends on your ability. General Yangsu looked at Luo Feng with a smile. Luo Feng could sense that the other party was targeting him. Space confinement can confine the galaxy transformation method, and it can also confine the wild wind domain. But General Yangsu is going all out to target himself. Very good, it depends on your ability. Luo Feng looked at him coldly and said no more. Time passes. This wave of eruption of blood spirit golden beads lasted for about 3 days. The great sage Bian did not show up from beginning to end, but he took away the most, a total of 25 blood spirit gold beads. The Lord of Desolate Wind City, relying on the Desolate Wind territory to infiltrate everywhere, also took away the 12 blood spirit golden beads. Although Luo Feng's galaxy transformation technique covered all directions, he was only able to obtain 9 blood spirit gold beads due to the spatial confinement of Great Sage Yangsu. The Great Sage Yangsu also took away 8 blood spirit golden beads. Mansion Master Yuanxiu, who had been hiding far away and taking advantage of the fight among various parties to look for opportunities to pick up bargains, also obtained 3 blood spirit gold beads. Great Sage Yangsu has been targeting Great Sage Luo He time and time again. Is there any grudge against him? Great Sage Yangsu's spatial confinement can completely confine Great Sage Luo He and Lord Huangfeng at the same time. In this way, Great Sage Luo He's confinement will be much weaker, and he should be able to get 2 or 3 more blood spirit gold beads. Lord Huangfeng will also get a few fewer blood spirit gold beads. Yangsu, I have offended Luo He this time. So what if I offended you? This great sage Yangsu has practiced the art of clones, and he is much more difficult to deal with than the average Chaos Realm Transcendents. Not to mention transcending the Chaos Realm, even among the God Kings, very few have clones. Those Chaos Realm Peak Masters who were watching the battle from afar saw the entire process, chatted with each other, and began to leave at the same time. After watching the first wave of competition, they had already lost their desire to compete. Ha ha ha. The Lord of Desolate Wind City stood under the Blood Spirit Star and looked around. His voice boomed and echoed between heaven and earth. I got a total of 12 Blood Spirit Gold Pearls. I am willing to sell them to you. The lowest price is 10 billion cosmic sands per pearl. The highest bidder wins. Luo Feng, Great Sage Bian, Palace Master Yuanxiu, Yangsu, and some Chaos Realm Peak Masters who were about to leave, all heard the news. The lowest price is 10 billion cosmic sands per piece? Are you crazy? Even the richest person present, Bian Great Sage, felt that the price was too outrageous. The Lord of Huangfeng City looked at the figures in the distance and waited patiently. One blood spirit golden bead costs 10 billion cosmic sands? No one will agree to that. Palace Master Yuan Xiao said with a smile. 1 grain of cosmic grain costs 1 billion cosmic grains. I'm willing to buy a few. A voice came from afar, and it was spoken by a person at the peak of the Chaos Realm. The Lord of Huangfeng City was quite disappointed when he saw this. Can't sell it at this price? Luo Feng was speechless upon seeing this. Behind the Blood Spirit Gold Pearl quest is the struggle among the 7 first-class marquises of the Emperor Chu lineage. The first-class marquises usually have all kinds of expenses, and it is very good to be able to take out hundreds of billions of cosmic sands. How can you only buy 3 or 5 of them after spending all your wealth? You know, the great sage Bian also got 25 of them in the first wave of competition. Even if you buy 3 or 5, the impact will be too small. The Chaos Realm Transcendence was all requested by the first-class marquises. Luo Feng thought to himself, in the end, it was the first-class marquises who paid the price. They couldn't afford it. In terms of treasure accumulation, the Chaos Realm Transcendents are naturally far superior to the first-class marquises. But this is a mission for the first-class marquises after all. Chaos Realm Transcendents will not spend their own wealth. People like Luo Feng, Bian Great Sage, and Yuanxiu Mansion Master all helped out of friendship. No one asked for benefits in this mission. Then I'll lower the price a bit. 80 billion cosmic grains of sand for 1. Seeing that he couldn't sell it, the Lord of Huangfeng City finally lowered the price a bit. But no one present was willing to bid, so it was still too high. 6 billion cosmic sands, this is the lowest price for 1. The voice of the Lord of Desolate Wind City was much lower. After waiting for a long time, he finally smiled. It seems that there are still people who know the value of the goods. All the Blood Spirit Gold Pearls have been traded this time. Want to buy? Wait until the next competition. After saying this, the Lord of Desolate Wind City turned into a gust of desolate wind and disappeared between heaven and earth. This scene surprised Mansion Master Luo Feng Yuan and others. Sold it? To whom did you sell it? Is it pretending to sell? The Blood Spirit Gold Pearl must be delivered to Chudu within 10 days. If the task exceeds 10 days, it will become a Blood Spirit Poison Pearl. There is no point in him keeping it, so there is no need to pretend to sell it. The Chaos Realm Transcendence and Chaos Realm Peaks present had various speculations, and then all parties began to leave. When Luo Feng left, he glanced at the great sage Yang Su in the distance. Hey hey. The great sage Yang Su smiled and glanced at Luo Feng. It's directed at you, so what? On the Origin continent, most of the ancient strong men follow the rules. They will not easily make enemies. After all, they also have many concerns. Only then will you go crazy and do anything. But there are also a small number of strong people who have no clan, few disciples, and act recklessly. The great sage Yang Su is a person who does things without restraint. Of course, in terms of sins, there are many people in the Origin continent who have sins greater than his. The great sage Yang Su simply acts more wantonly, viciously, and cruelly, but he does not engage in large-scale massacres himself. In terms of notoriety, he is far less notorious than the ancestor of the Snow Realm, and even less notorious than the Lord of the Food Kingdom who destroyed many divine kingdoms. Luo Feng rushed back to Chudu as soon as possible. After the Blood Spirit Star erupted, it would take a long time to enter the next wave of eruption. There were only 2 or 3 waves of eruption in an epoch. Call. Luo Feng arrived at Chu Yuho Mansion. Brother Luo He. The divine incarnation of Chu Yuho came to greet Luo Feng. My real body is currently on a mission. This heavenly mission consists of 3 submissions, and the Blood Spirit Gold Pearl mission is just one of them. Your own mission is more important. As Luo Feng spoke, he flipped his hand and took out the 9 Blood Spirit Gold beads. Blood Spirit Star just had its first wave of explosion, and I got 9 of the Blood Spirit Gold Pearls. I heard that Palace Master Yuan Xiao only got 3. Marquis Chuyu got the detailed information at the first opportunity. After all, there were several Chaos Realm transcendents fighting each other, and some Chaos Realm peaks watching, and the information was transmitted to the Yangfeng Hall the fastest. That great sage Yang Su is a little strange. Luo Feng said, I don't know him, but this time he went all out and targeted me alone. Brother Chu Yu, does he have a grudge against you? No? Chu Yuho shook his head, I'm just a newly promoted first-level god. Before this, I was just an eternal true god. How could I possibly have an enemy with a Chaos Realm transcendent great sage Yang Su? Luo Feng nodded slightly. I'm glad you have no grudge against him. It seems it's my fault. Luo Feng said. Brother Luo He, just do your best in the fight for the Blood Spirit Golden Pearl. Don't force it. Chu Yuho said with a smile, after all, I am the youngest among the 7 first-class marquises, and I have just made a breakthrough. Even if I rank lower, it doesn't matter. Luo Feng glanced at him and said, no matter what, you have to work hard on your 2 subtasks. Of course. Chu Yuho nodded. Let's go. Luo Feng turned around and left. Since I have accepted the Blood Spirit Gold Pearl mission, I will naturally put my heart into it. Chu Yuho watched Luo Feng leave. Brother Luo his temper. When Chu Yuho was in Huyang City, he understood Luo Feng's temper and found out that he was a person who attached great importance to friendship. Inviting Brother Luo He as my first guest official is my luckiest choice. Marquis Chu Yu was also quite fortunate at this moment. After Luo Feng left Chu Yuho Mansion, he also purchased a sufficiently detailed intelligence report on Great Sage Yang Su through the Dark Hall of Yangfeng Guild Hall. Call. While embarking on his journey home, Luo Feng was also studying the information about the Great Sage Yang Su. You don't even know me, but you're targeting me like this. Luo Feng looked at the intelligence and studied it carefully. He did not believe in unprovoked hostility. People who had reached the Chaos Realm and transcended this level would not easily make enemies. The clone technique of Great Sage Yang Su. Luo Feng felt a headache after reading the records in the intelligence. The clone technique practiced by Great Sage Yang Su can have 2 complete clones and 7 weak clones. The complete clones, including the divine body and soul, can all be kept at their peak state. His clone technique is more advantageous than my clone technique of 8 tribulations life form. Luo Feng thought to himself. Although they are both called clone techniques, they are very different. The life spiritual lineage in Luo Feng's 8 tribulations life form can, if practiced into the art of clone, have enough life spirituality in its own strength to exist independently. By separating part of its own divine power, it can form an avatar. Even if there are hundreds or thousands of clones, it is an easy task. However, only when the power of all clones is combined can it become a complete whole. Every time a clone is created, the self will be weakened. Life spirit, the clone technique of a school, all the power is still a whole, not a bit more. Luo Feng said, but the clone technique of Great Sage Yang Su, on the basis of the original real body, has an additional complete clone, which is equivalent to doubling the entire divine power and cultivating an extra soul. In addition to the complete clone, there are 7 weak clones. Luo Feng felt secretly. Of course, he was also very contented. Because most of the 9 origin roads under the command of the Supreme Rule could not practice the art of clone. As far as Luo Feng knows, the only 2 avenues that can surpass the origin of life in the art of clones are the origin of time and the origin of space. It is said that the clones cultivated by the origin of time can exist in the past, present, and future. Nature is mysterious and extremely powerful. The great way of the origin of space can break through certain limitations of the cage and possess multiple complete clones. For a great sage like Yang Su who possesses 2 complete clones, it can only be considered an entry level. Yang Su, now ordered to guard the border, the city of Xiangjie City, he must have a complete clone in Xiangjie City. Luo Feng thought. The one who participated in the fight for the Blood Spirit Gold Pearl should be another complete clone, and 7 weak clones. The more Luo Feng understood Yang Su, the more he realized that he could do nothing to him. Yang Su had some servants and 2 disciples, and he didn't care about the lives of his disciples. More than one batch of his disciples had died. For Yangsu, cultivation is the most important thing, everything else is unimportant. The Lord of Huangfeng City came into a dark forest alone. I didn't expect that I couldn't sell even a single blood spirit gold bead. The Lord of Huangfeng City sighed. I said, I am willing to buy all of them for 3 billion cosmic sands. It is already a high price. A figure formed by the invisible power of heaven and earth looked at the Lord of Huangfeng City with a smile. The Lord of Desolate Wind City nodded and waved his hand, then took out the 12 blood spirit gold beads he had obtained this time, and said, Here you go. The Lord of Desolate Wind City handed everything over to the other party. Old rules. During the blood spirit gold bead mission period, I will take all the blood spirit gold beads you have. The total amount is 3 billion. The price of 1 grain of cosmic sand. The illusory figure said with a smile. He was the one who invited the Lord of Huangfeng City to participate in the fight. He also agreed to let the Lord of Huangfeng City sell the blood spirit gold pearls in small quantities to the outside world, but the price had to be doubled. Therefore, the Lord of Desolate Wind City had to sell it for at least 6 billion cosmic grains of sand per grain. As expected by this ancient being, it was impossible to sell it. The first-class marquises of the royal family of the ancient country of Yangfeng are too stingy. The Lord of Huangfeng City was quite unwilling. He bid publicly, but could not sell even one. I have been very generous. The illusory figure smiled, and then disappeared silently. The Lord of Desolate Wind City looked at this scene. I don't know who this old guy is. The Lord of Huangfeng City said secretly, and then he passed through the void and left. Luo Feng returned to the cave not far from the Blood Spirit Star, and practiced intensively in the pavilion with his divine power incarnation, so as to sense the movements of the Blood Spirit Star at any time. Luo Feng's real body was practicing in the space inside the Star Tower. The Trinity form is indeed difficult to comprehend with my level of attainment. Luo Feng looked at the Trinity form in front of him, and the laws that emerged when the particles of the 10 directions world form disintegrated, and he still felt confused. In addition to accumulating life spirituality, the entire life body is at the peak of the chaos realm. Want to go higher? That would require becoming a god king. I also have the golden zero beetle material and a variety of perfect chaos layer biological materials as reference. I have accumulated a lot of knowledge in all aspects. But I still have confusion. During the fight for the blood spirit gold pearl, I was able to see many of my weaknesses. Luo Feng also admitted this. In terms of strength, the Lord of Wild Wind City was on par with him. In terms of many tricks, the great sage Biyun was clearly superior to him. Even he himself could not confirm the true identity of great sage Biyun, but he could attack easily. With this kind of strength, I still won't be able to take away too much in the second wave of competition for the blood spirit gold orbs. Luo Feng smiled slightly and took out a stone box. When the stone box was opened, 9 light red fruits were found inside. The Chaos Mirror level originally planned to consume 5 Hunyuan crystal spirit fruits, and now is the critical moment. Luo Feng immediately took out a Hunyuan crystal spirit fruit, closed the stone box and opened it, which contained 9 light red fruits. I originally planned to take 5 Hunyuan crystal spirit fruits to reach the Chaos Mirror level, and now is the critical moment. He immediately took out a Hunyuan crystal spirit fruit and closed the stone box. The cultivation has reached a bottleneck. The friend's mission is also at a critical moment, and the best steel must be used on the blade. Luo Feng feels that he is on the blade now. Luo Feng immediately started eating the fruit. The fruit was tough. Luo Feng chewed it up and swallowed it into his stomach. He felt the flesh breaking down in his stomach, and the energy began to spread, affecting his soul. His soul became ethereal, and his thinking speed soared. This video will end here.